Hey, everybody. I hope you're all having a great day today. This is Matthew Moses, and welcome to another episode of Sports with MattyMo Podcast. And my God, we have such a surprise for all of you today. So, tonight, my guest on my second episode ever, he is the owner and current GM of the Montreal Tundras. I would love to announce Juan Mendez. How are you
I'm
today?
good. Thanks for having me, Matthew. I appreciate it.
Anytime. So basically, the Montreal Tundras are a basketball team in the TBL, but now are also in the BSL, Basketball Super League, that contains teams from Canada that will participate in the TBL. If I'm not that's correct.
That stands correct. So, what we're trying to do here is make the best league possible, which will be the BSL, so the fans could really enjoy the highest level of basketball when it comes to Winter League here in Canada and the US. So, yeah, I'm excited to embark on our first season and move forward. Yes.
It's gonna be a really exciting season, really exciting. Plus, we have like the new teams from Canada from the Canadian NBL, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So it consists of a couple of NBLC, ex-NBLC teams, plus some of the TBL teams that we played in the past. So you're going to see some familiar faces and some new faces and some new teams and some old teams. But at the same time, it's going to be some great, and the fans are going to love it.
And that's always good. Like when you see new faces, players you never see before, it's always fun to get new teams in the league because like all the fans they want to see new teams every year.
Yes. But always seeing new faces is good for the fans. The fans really enjoy that kind of stuff. So, yes, absolutely.
Exactly. So basically, I want to know what made you want to bring basketball to Montreal, like a professional team.
Well, my history is I used to play pro a long time ago to a lot of the fans that we have here in Montreal, but I played overseas. I played in the US, and I noticed that the Canadians we didn't have a professional basketball league. And I was like, how can Canada, one of the best premier countries in the world, not have a basketball league? So I decided to do my homework and look into it and see what we could do to have a basketball team. And voila, in 2018 started the project of trying to get a team here, and 2023 now we're here, second
So
season, and excited for it. So yes.
so basically, it took like that long to get the Tundras like up and running.
Yes, it took about 5 years to be exact. It was and I tell this to people all the time, it was a dream at one point, but I try to make my dreams come to reality, and right now I'm living the reality. So as long as you try and you put your put first forward, you have a chance to really get what you want in life. And I did that. I put a lot of sweat equity and and work into this project, and I'm very excited where it is and where it's going to go.
And that earns a lot of respect coming from me as well to you. A lot of respect because like owning a team, it's not like an easy job. It takes so much work in your time and your family and everything.
It
Like
takes community. It takes a whole community to try to make this thing work. I can't say I did it alone, but it was my vision, my story that helped propel this idea to make it reality, which it is today. Walking into our
yeah,
second season in a few months, but yes, definitely, family has to play a big part in this, and obviously friends and people that believe in the vision and want to make this thing grow. And you're one of them. So thank you very much for.
exactly. Yeah, anytime. I just when I go see a new team play, I love to promote team. I love to like give the word on the street, like, hey, we got this team out here in Montreal Tundras. You should go check them out. Really good ball. You got like American teams that come in, like the Albany Patrons
Yes,
or like New
Albany,
York Indians, I guess.
Albany's very good. Albany's very good.
Uh,
Yes.
Lots of history in the Patrons, lots of history. Phil Jackson.
Absolutely. Rick Carlisle, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of NBA faces that you might know in the past. Mario Ellie, if I'm not mistaken. You have a lot of rich history over there in Albany, and they do a great job of keeping our franchise going. So kudos to them.
Yeah. So so basically, I saw you used to play for Team Canada. You used to play for their basketball team. How was it like to represent your country?
There's no other feeling to represent your country. You put on these jerseys to play and represent something more than just yourself. The name on your back. It's usually the name on the front, which is Team Canada. That's the place where I was born, raised, and I'll always represent my country to the fullest when I have the opportunity. It's no other better feeling because it's like walking into another country and you have the whole country on your back, which is Canada to represent. So that's something very special in my heart. And to this day, I still talk to people in the organization and make sure that Canada's doing the right things, and just cheering on the next generation.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I love wearing that maple leaf.
Yeah, and the good part is like basketball in Canada, I think it's like improve every year it's improving the game. Like we're getting more players into the NBA, more players going like in the top 5 in draft picks.
We have the
Like
second highest country besides the United States with the most players. So we have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, about 20 to 30 players from Canada who play in the NBA currently. So that shows you where the game is going and where it's heading. I always say this to everybody I speak to when it comes to basketball. It's the golden era of basketball here in our country, and we have to really take advantage of that situation.
yeah, for sure. It's like because basketball, when everyone thinks basketball, they think of okay, the US dominates, but also we're up there too. We are. We just won a bronze medal
Yes,
against the US.
absolutely.
Even
Yeah, we have a bright future when it comes to the Olympic Games. I believe it's just going to continue growing. I believe, yes, like you said, we won a bronze medal. I know the um, I know the coach very well. I would watch the games at 4 in the morning. Wake up and watch the games to make sure I don't get behind and see what I could help the team. And I'll text the coach and make sure everything's ran smoothly. Um, yeah, it's just a great opportunity for Canada right now to really, intake this basketball we have and really take into consideration that it's a lot of guys from Montreal going into the NBA. We have 5 guys in the NBA.
oh,
Chris Pras, we have what's his name? Ben Maturin, Lou Gaines, and Ken Birch. So that's a record high for our province as we speak, and it's only going to get bigger because now these guys are like superheroes to these kids, right?
yeah.
And just going to be something very special to look forward to when basketball really takes a huge leap, especially here in Quebec. And now people are realizing that Quebec have a lot of hoopers.
Yeah. Like basically like now the Tundras and also the Lions with them now in Montreal, it's growing the game more. Like
Exactly. At the end of the day, it's trying to educate the fan base on what basketball is really about. And the Lions do a great job at that.
yeah,
Um, Ali Laroche has taken on these reins and done a fantastic job, and you can't take away from what they do on that other side here in the summertime. We're just trying to have a continuation here in the winter and make sure we all come together and be one when it comes to basketball and just grow the community, make sure everybody gets educated on what the sport is really about and how it works.
yeah.
Try to become a great fan base, which I
Like
know.
uh, nice. I have an idea. I don't know if it'll ever happen. Like, do you ever see the Tundras and the Lions playing an exhibition game against each other to like
I
promote
never.
Montreal?
Well, look, on the business side of stuff, I think we will work together some capacity, but because the leagues run in 2 different times, I think it'll
Yeah.
be harder for us to play. But you never know. You never could say no to something that could be possible. So, with that being said, like I said, they're doing such a great job. Just leave
Yeah,
it as is and just promote and push them as much as I can on my platforms to make sure they're successful so we can be successful on our end and vice versa. At the end of the day, we're trying to do the same thing and just grow basketball in our province.
exactly. So basically, are we going to be seeing any new changes in the 24 season compared to last season for the Tundras, or it's going to be a bit the same?
Not too much. We'll still have some continuation of what happened last year or
Yeah.
last season. But there will be a little bit of changes that the fans might like. So I'm not going to go into detail.
Okay.
I'll let prize for when people come to the arena and actually enjoy a game.
Ah, perfect. Surprises. Everyone loves surprises. So, so when you go on the road for the Tundras, like what's your favorite place to like visit? Like your favorite arena on the road?
I think you touched on it. Albany. Albany is my favorite play because one, they're the best team, and you always want to measure yourself against the best. And
Yeah.
two, the fan base has been there for decades, so they understand what the game is about. They want to see good basketball, and they put on a great show. The Armory is a special place.
Uh,
If you guys a chance listening on this podcast, if you have a chance to go to Albany and go check out the Armory, please do. It's a great place to play. I'm even promoting their team, so they need it, and it's good. It's one of those places where it has so much history, so much rich history of basketball that if you miss out a game there, you're going to miss out a lot of good basketball.
yeah. That's one place I want to visit this season. I'm gonna try to visit when the Tundras play there. Like I'm
Yep,
gonna have to make a 3 hour drive down to Albany one day.
need to. It's well worth it. You really love it. Believe me.
Yeah. For sure. And then do some Buffalo Wild Wings on the way back.
Uh, there you go.
Yeah. So basically these new teams we're seeing like from Canada, like London, Kitchener, Newfoundland, Sudbury, and Windsor, like which team are you like the most excited to play out of all these teams, or you're probably excited to play all of them?
I'm excited to play all of them, but London has been the pillar of that league of the NBLC in the past. So I believe London Lightning. I know the owners very well, and they do a
Yeah.
very good job of marketing the team and making sure everything is done right, correctly, as a franchise is supposed to be run. So they do a great job, and that's the highest competition, and that's the highest honor for them, for me to be mentioning them and wanted to play against them at the highest level.
And they play in the Budweiser Arena, same rink as the Kitchener Rangers. I mean, sorry for that. London Knights play where they always sell out. So it's like
Exactly.
a pro minor league basketball arena, I guess.
Yes, trust me, they do a great job. Like I said, I know the owners. They really push this team, and it's a fun environment to be part of.
It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna have all these new rivalries in the league.
Exactly.
Like,
Ex-
I see our rival now, Albany. That's like our rival. They're probably the closest team to us, or Syracuse.
It is. It is. It's Albany. Albany is our rivalry because they're right
Yeah,
across from. They're only a 3 hour drive, so I mean, it's something that we're gonna have to look forward to every year, and I'm excited for it. The guys, for sure, these players that we're gonna have are excited for it, and we're gonna make it fun.
oh for sure. Like it's always fun to be on the road. Like I'm gonna be honest, when I go with the Laval Rocket, I love the road games more than the home games. No offense to the Laval fans, they're
Yeah,
cool. I love home games, but it's not just the game on the road. It's like what else you're doing. Like,
the preparation, it's getting the guys ready,
yeah,
doing meetings beforehand, pregame meals, everything, and it helps the guys bond. It's
exactly.
really, hone their skills and hone and mentally prepare themselves to battle, because at the end of the day, it is a battle when you're on those between those lines. So it's an experience.
Yeah, it is like basically like that's the time where team bonds is mostly on the road than at home, because
Exactly.
sometimes players are gonna go do activities with each other. Like when there's no game and they have a game probably at the next night, they're probably gonna go out like go bowling. Like I'll say casino. I'll just throw it out there. So we guys do it in Laval,
So gotta say they
Cleveland,
got
Cleveland.
absolutely
Yeah, but yeah, we never come out winners from there. But I won't get into that.
no.
No, exactly. So so basically, like so from last year's, which players are we expected to see come back from
Well,
last
we'll
season?
have we'll have about 5 or 6 guys that we believe we're going to re-sign from last year, to have some continuity, like I said earlier. But yeah, these are guys who work hard, who represent the Tundra well, and really understand what the vision is. And these are the type of guys we want on this team to make sure they represent us well, and they can represent the community to its fullest. And at the end of the day, it's all about the community for me, and they understand that, and they're willing to, take that leap. So I'm excited to re-sign some guys and make sure we have that leverage.
And also speaking about community, like are you gonna try and get like schools involved this time, like basketball camps to come to the game? So like a school game for like
Yeah,
schools.
So it's tough to have school games because obviously school's in the day, right? Our games are late in the evening. So what we'll do is, and we did last year, is go into schools, talk to the educators, talk to the kids, make sure they have something that they can look up to, and we'll be those guys. When it comes to the community. So we're going to try to hit as much schools as possible. And obviously, this past summer we were doing some basketball camps that were available to them. We try to do the best we can and support these camps that are going on during the summer to make sure we put an imprint here in the community that the Tundra are here to stay.
Yeah, and also you guys were at Comic-Con this year during the summer, sponsoring.
So that was something we, the team decided to do something different. Go into a genre that people wouldn't expect. So we went and created. Actually, we had a lovely lady come in, and Emmanuel come in and design a superhero for us. So there was the Tundra Titan was a superhero for us. She created this comic animation type character, and we used it in Comic Con and try to get a different type of you know theme going and try to create something special moving forward. So for me, that's just thinking outside the box and trying to do it different.
Now, basically, I saw here in this you played 2 seasons in Israel.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
How is that?
Nahariya. I mean, look, I played in the north, and then I went close to 10 minutes from Tel Aviv to Rishon, which is my second home. I mean, if you look at my pro career, I played 2 years there. So for me, I enjoyed the people, very warm people. The food was amazing, and I had an amazing time. I became my first year there. I was Bossman of the Year, which is Import of the Year, which is a very high award because you have a lot of imports from the U.S. plus
Yeah.
Europe because it's a high level league. But I did fairly well. And then my second year, I just decided to go back because I love the place so much.
And what about Italy? You also played Italy, I believe China as well.
So China was a 1 year stop also. Did well there, took my team to the finals, lost in the finals, but
Oh,
we had a good run. In Italy also I played in Sicily. These places for me in Europe were all special because they all had different unique traits to them as a country, but at the same time, one thing that you could really talk about is the love of the game that people had for us foreigners because we're considered foreigners in those countries,
yes.
but they had the game for us and the way we played the game, and they treated us like family. So for me that was the most important part, and it was great to see different cultures, enjoy different cultures, and grow. At the end of the day, if I didn't end up in Europe, I mean, if I would have had the chance to stick in the NBA, it might not have been the same. So
Exactly.
I was very fortunate to go to Europe and enjoy the luxuries of different cultures and different people. And look, I have homes all over the world, but I could say Israel is one of them, one of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah. And my parents, they're trying to get me to go visit that country from my Jewish background, but I
You need to
told
go. You need to go at least once because then you will always go. Trust me, you'll love it.
yeah, the beaches I heard are so beautiful there. It's
Yes,
like being in Miami, basically.
you got to go to the Dead Sea. You're gonna go over there, Dead Sea. Trust me, the Dead Sea is very important to go take a gander, to go take a look at. Yeah.
So basically, you also played for the Montreal Jazz. That was our team before the Tundras or the Alliance. How was that like compared to like
So
the?
that was interesting. That league, I mean, that team was owned by the league, so there was not that much backing in the city. The community didn't really back it. People didn't understand what was trying to be done, which was basketball. I give a lot of credit to Pascal Jobin because he tried to hold it up and try to make something happen, but it just didn't work. There wasn't enough marketing. There wasn't enough support when it comes to the community, when it comes to that team. For the time I was here, and that rang the alarm for me, at that time, and that's when I decided to say, you know what, I got to put my foot down and try to do something here because our province is missing some basketball.
Yeah, and
But
like
experience was A1. They did a great job. The people that were in place, and yeah, we had our full season.
Yeah. And basically from that league, I thought that was like I think the ABA they played in.
NBLC.
Oh, NBLC. So that's the same as like Sudbury. I
Hmm.
think XA had a team back then.
Hmm. No, Sudbury didn't have a team. It was London that had a
Oh,
team.
oh, okay. So the London Lightnings were there for a long time.
Yes, London's been around for a while, so they're the most prestigious, one of the most prestigious teams in that league. Yes, that are moving into our league now. So it's going to be great.
I'm really excited to see them play this season.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Are you also trying to like reach out to like people across Quebec to like promote the Tundras?
Well,
And
look, I think word of mouth, it's been great. I think marketing has done a great job so far to try to really um, become a fixture to Montreal when it comes to basketball here in Montreal. So I think people are really aware of what we're doing, but I think we'll have more of that season two. Season one, obviously, it's just people are not familiar with the product. Now, season two, people are like, okay, well, we know who they are. Let's go support and let's go cheer for our team in the winter.
yeah, I remember like the way I found the Tundras was on I believe it was Facebook. Like I just saw an article, Montreal new basketball team. I'm like, oh, let me check this out. And then I'm like, oh, cool. So I go check out the game. Loved it. Loved the whole experience. 12-man quarters.
Yeah, the energy is amazing. Up and down basketball, you get good quality basketball, and it's a good time for the family. I always say that. So, I'm happy you enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
You do a good job of supporting. So
Yeah.
we appreciate.
Thank you. I'm gonna be there a lot this season coming up. So, do you see the TBL like a developmental league for the NBA and the G League?
Well, look, it can be. I mean, you can't say no, right? Now, the greatness of the TBL is that it gives an opportunity to players who are not in the G League, who have been overseas, who want to stay home. One of the biggest things that we always harp on when it comes to these teams in the TBL and the BSL is actually helping these guys come back and have some type of financial literacy when it comes to their money, because a lot of these guys don't know how to spend it. And two, you don't break up families. You keep these families intact. They're not too far from home. It's not like going overseas that you have to travel 8 hours and it takes you about 4 to 5 months before you see your family. That for us that was very important, and trying to make a community to where people. I mean, these players could become pillars to their communities instead of just you know a forgotten commodity.
Yeah, and with these new teams coming to Montreal, it also builds up friendship for all of us. Like people we never saw before, and now we're friends with, like me and you.
Exactly, exactly. So
And
it's special. It's special. It's bringing people together, and this is what we want to do with the fan base: is bring everybody together. We don't care where you're from, what you do. You love hockey, you don't love basketball. Just come enjoy entertainment, and meet new people and embrace each other. This is what Montreal is all about.
well, I'll be honest, I actually love basketball a bit. Like it's my second favorite sport in the winter because, like, to me, it's a winter sport. It could be a summer sport too.
Well, we're trying to make it both, which is a good thing. That means that's more basketball around the clock for everybody, which is a good thing, and I love that.
And the tickets are so affordable for Toundra games.
Yep.
Like it's amazing. Like and sometimes you have those discounts. Like once I bought tickets, I think it was half price off. It was those 3 games back to back to back you guys had, I believe.
So this is what we try to do. We try to make it affordable so people could come watch us play,
And that's
and
amazing.
enjoy entertainment. It's hard. I'm not taking nothing away from hockey. I love hockey.
Yeah.
It's religion here, and I know that, but
See
amazing.
from this.
Exactly. You could come to Montreal and watch a basketball game for 20, and the most you're going to pay $60 on the floor. I think that's something special, and this is just giving back to the community, and this is the purpose of doing exactly what we're doing moving forward.
Exactly. And I also like spoke to about Rocket, trying to like get them to maybe partner up with the Tundras too. To like, get the word out there more.
Exactly. It's just more cross promotion. But yeah, maybe one day, we will have those conversations when the time is right. I think there's a lot on their plates. They do a great job over there
Yeah.
with the Rock. They're the minor league for the Habs, so
Yeah.
they have they have a lot of work to do, and to just partner up with somebody, it's got to take time. These things just don't happen overnight, but something will happen, something will give eventually, and we're looking forward to it.
But the best I think for me, like I travel a lot with the Rocket. Like if the Tundras are playing close by to where Laval's playing on the road, it's like different days. I would for sure do that. One day hockey, and then next day go see Tundras on the road, like Albany, for example, or Syracuse.
It's set. A fun weekend of basketball and hockey in one weekend. That's amazing.
Trust me, it's the best. Like just to get out of the city sometimes, see new scenery, and I have friends all over. Like on the road, I also build up friendship there too, like with the fans of the other team.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's like
You,
we're family.
it's a big family, regardless of what sport you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like I love it a lot. I do. Like in the AHL, like every rink I go to, I always have like friends from the opposite team, no
Mhm.
matter where I go. It's like it just clicks like that, basically.
It's amazing. Sports bring people together, just like music. So,
Uh, exactly. So so basically, so for the playoffs, like how does that work in the TBO for the playoffs?
so for the playoffs, how it works is you got to, for us to make the playoffs and be part of the playoff run, you got to be top five in the league. I don't know how it's going to work in the BSL. I'm not too quite familiar with it this year. I think it's going to be top
Positive.
smaller. It's a smaller league, but I think it's top four in the BSL. So we're going to talk about the TBL. I know it's top five. Go to the playoffs. They play against each other, and whoever wins out of the conference plays the opposite conferences around the U.S. So that's how it was in the past in the TBL.
And I heard they cut some teams also in the TBL as well. They got rid of some teams.
Yes, yes, yes. They get rid of some teams, bring in some new teams to make sure everything that the playing field levels out, and it's always a good thing. You got to weed out some bad teams and bring in some better teams.
Exactly.
You get stronger.
And I think this Canadian division now they have is going to be like strong for Canadian players and also for some imports. Well, U.S. players that want to come to Canada and play here.
Yes,
So we
exactly.
have a mix.
Remember, the U.S. is just literally a couple hours away, so these
Yeah.
guys are up in Canada before they go to Europe and try their talents here, so they could have an opportunity to head back home whenever they have a chance.
So for this season, are we expecting more like promotional nights? Like I remember last season, you guys had those hip hop dancers.
Yeah. So
Back to back.
we're working on that as we speak. So we'll have about I think 12 nights of just promotional nights with different events, with different cultures. We're gonna try to do a lot this year. So that's a surprise. I can't tell you which game's which, but it's
Exactly.
happening in the works. Yes.
For sure. I just wanted to be like a surprise when I show up. Okay, it's gonna be this night. It's like
Exactly. That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
yeah, and also so like you guys are you gonna like promote at the exhibition game that's coming here? I think in like 2 weeks for the NBA.
Well, I mean, we're in talks with that. We'll see what happens. I can't give you a definitive answer today, but we'll stay in touch, and I'll make sure I let you know if we're doing that or not.
Okay, yeah, because I tried getting tickets. Like I asked the guy. The guy called me. He
Mhm.
said like I asked him. Okay, so how much is courtside? Like center court, like where I sit for the Toundra is always. He's like, oh, 1,600 US. Like that's like a bit too much for NBA preseason.
Well, that's the NBA. One of those
Exactly.
corporate seats cost $5,000 in the Madison Square Garden in New York. So
Oh,
it's fair for Montreal. It's just we're not used to that culture yet, and we
yeah.
have a ways to go before we talk about paying $5,000 for a corporate seat per game, an NBA game. So just give it time.
Yeah,
Give it.
and plus the salary is higher up for the NBA for a player compared to like hockey.
Oh yeah. Don't even, I wouldn't even want to compare. I don't compare at all. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, like you played NCAA also for Niagara University.
Yes. So I played at Niagara, did 4 years there. I went to the tournament. Um, yeah, and I led. I was the all-time leading Canadian scorer. Yeah, I did well. I did well.
Right.
They do what I can, and yeah, I held the record for a long time. The record I think just got broken last year. So
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm not. I can't tell you so, but I think because of the new rules of guys coming back for their fifth and sixth year because of COVID, I
Yeah.
think that obviously somebody it was bound to break it. But records are meant to be broken anyways. But the fact
Exactly.
that I lasted so long, it's a testament to my hard work, my teammates, the coaching staff, and everybody else who believed in me. So yeah, it was fun.
So last year, like I never found this out, but what was the average attendance last year for the Tundras?
So we would average about almost 800 to 1,000 people a game. You know,
Okay.
but for a first year team, I thought we did a great job of that.
Yeah.
Uh, and hopefully it grows this year. I think it will. It's just remember we're trying to do this organically to
Yeah.
where people actually enjoy and embrace what we're doing and understand what we're doing before they come and sit in the seat to watch a game.
Exactly. And also we want the fan to like want to come back more and more and more. Like that's what we also try to do.
Yes, exactly.
And by showing a good product on the court and all that, good shows, good food. Like I'll be honest, the food wasn't that great. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.
We'll work on it this year. It's okay.
Yeah. Ramen, Coke, and popcorn. That's all I had.
We'll try to do better this year. How's that?
That'd be perfect. Like because I know like people when they go to sport events, they love to eat. Like
Oh,
don't get me wrong.
absolutely. We're gonna try to work on that to make sure we do a better job, so we could have the fans come back.
And the season for this season, I believe it's starting in January. And what
I
days
mean,
then?
schedule as we speak. I mean, as of right now, we're technically starting in January, but I think we're going to start on the road. But
Yeah.
the season starts in January. Yes.
I'll probably try and make that trip if the Rockets don't interfere. And depending how far it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I just love road trips like always. But so basically I heard you guys are be getting new stuff that I'm not gonna reveal or anything here. I want the fans to see when they come.
Exactly. So with everything that's going to happen this year, we're trying to do it the right way. So what we're going to do is make sure we give the website www.montrealtundra.com. You go check it out and see what the upcoming events will be moving forward. We have a great team behind it. And yeah, then you could get all the goodies and everything you want with the website moving forward. But I'm not gonna say anything on the podcast as we speak. I'm gonna
Yeah.
let it go by itself. But yes, go sign up. It's for free. You could sign up to our webpage www.mtltundra.com, and yeah, enjoy the season.
It's gonna be a really fun season, I believe, this year, especially with all teams coming, more talent, more players. I hope we get like some like players from the NBA that want to just play in this league for for fun.
You never know. I get a lot of calls. I get about 50 to 60 calls a day just for players who come play here in Montreal because they know we do a good job of running the organization pretty well. So, with that being said, yeah, you never know.
And did you go to any of the combines for like the TBL or the
Yes,
BSL?
yes, yes. So I was in the combine in Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
I saw some players that I'm interested in. We do have conversations, do speak. So yeah, it's good.
And like, how are these combines when you go watch them? Like, a lot of guys like that play NCAA that go there, or like you got some guys off the street play street ball, want to play pro.
So it's usually a lot of guys from Europe, a lot of guys who just graduated from the NCAAs, who need an opportunity and want to get a job and want to continue pursuing basketball. You get a lot of those type of guys. So it's something. It's fun to watch. It's good. You go into gyms and you watch these guys play. And then you decide whether you like the play or not.
And do you still like do assistant coaching for McGill? Because I see you did
No,
McGill. No?
no, that was my past. That was in my past. Yeah, so I coached there for three. I was an assistant coach for 3 years at McGill. Um, we won a lot while I was
Yeah.
there, and then I wanted to just solely focus on exactly this, the Montreal Tundra.
Did you guys? I don't know. Actually, did you take part in that game at Ball? I know you guys played some games there. Did you take part in the one against Duke and also that little tournament you guys did?
I was there, but I didn't go to that game. No.
That would have been like a great feeling. Just assistant coaching against the top university with the number 1 pick,
Yeah,
Coach
yeah.
K.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But I've met RJ before. I
Yeah.
met him when he was a child because I played with his dad. Rowan Barrett, who was the GM for the Montreal, not Montreal, with the Canada national team. So I know them very well.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yes.
And like I just love watching basketball in winter. Like sometimes I'll go to games in Concordia,
Mhm.
like especially when they played the NCAA teams in the beginning of the season to like get a little preseason going.
You get a feel of what's going to happen moving forward, but that's fun. That's always fun when I think they're having a tournament at Class Bell in November,
Yeah.
right? So I'll most probably be at one of those games.
And I would go like if I'm not on the road, 'cause I'm probably gonna be on the road, but if not, I'm probably gonna go to one of these games. But like the thing is, when I go with them, I want to go to like every game. I just
Yeah,
love basketball too.
fun basketball. It's fun. Basketball's a great sport. What's so great about basketball is you can interact with these players.
Yeah,
You're so close to the action. You could hear them. You basically see them sweating. You could hear the coaches talking. So it's a very touchy sport compared to the other sports like hockey and football. So that's very intimate when it comes to the fans. So it's something amazing.
and that's why I love staying courtside when it comes to basketball because like it feels like you're in the game when you're courtside. You're like right there.
And I mean, that's the best part of it, right? There's so
Yeah,
the fact that you're in it from start to finish. It's special. Yeah,
yeah, and also you could like say like some chirps to the players. They
yeah.
won't do anything. They won't.
They won't say much, but they hear you.
Yeah. But like when I do that, I like keep it under the line. I don't go overboard when it comes to that.
Well, it's fine. You can chirp all you want. I mean, they're called professionals for a reason, so they're supposed to be used.
Exactly.
It's worse on the road. How's that?
Yeah. But the thing I like at the end of the games is the players go like to center court and they salute the fans. Even after a win or a loss, they still do that. That's like really cool.
I made sure they do that to thank the fans for coming out and supporting them because at the end of the day, the fans are there. The community's there to support them and watch them play. So they deserve that. The
Yeah,
fans at least, an applause for being there and spending their 2.5 hours with us, the Tundra.
exactly. Especially on Mother's Day. I show up and then right after that I go straight to my parents for Mother's Day dinner.
Exactly. So basketball and mothers, that's awesome. I love that.
I wanted to bring my mom to that game. That was against Albany, I believe.
Albany got us. I remember. Yep.
Yeah. And there's one guy I like on that team. Number one, I think his
White,
name, yeah.
White, very good player. Very good
Like,
player.
yeah, I think he's like one of their top guys.
Yep. He is.
And,
He is. He is
yeah.
their best. He's the engine. Engine to
Oh,
that.
I can't wait to see him play this year. Hopefully you guys trade for him, maybe in the future.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But yeah, he's a very good player. Looking forward to having more battles against that guy.
Yeah, and also Quinn. Last year I liked that guy Quinn, really tall. Like,
Oh, Diego Quinn.
yeah.
So he might come back. So I'll give you a little nugget on that. He might come back, but he's looking at some jobs overseas as we speak.
Um,
Um, comes back, well, we'll gladly have him back. But he's a good player.
Also the other guy, who's the other guy I was talking
Hey,
about? Huh?
Miller
I think so, yeah.
or Crane? Which one?
Oh, Craig, that guy.
Crane. Dylan Crane.
One that played on York.
Yeah. So Dylan Crane is a good player. I haven't talked to him yet. I'm waiting for the schedule to come out. But
Okay.
there's a lot that could happen. Maybe you might see him, maybe you might not. Who knows?
Yeah, I remember when the first game I ever saw you guys play was against his team. And I'm looking, I'm like, who's that guy? He's a good player. And then I go to the game, I think next week or 2 weeks, and then I see him on Montreal. I'm like, what the hell is he doing here?
Got him.
It's crazy. Like,
Got him.
that's what I love about sports.
Yeah. That's the greatness of sports. Exactly.
Oh, yeah, and the connection. And that game, I believe York only had like 6 guys on their team, no coach.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about that. We knew what happened there. We knew. But yeah, last year was like an experiment season. And I think this year it's gonna be a really good season from my eyes, like with the new league.
Yes, it should be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the new competition, the new strategies we have going on as a league, and things will work out. We're going to be great. We're just trying to
I,
be back to the community. That's all we're trying to do.
and I know one place I want to visit this season is Sudbury. Like I used to go to the Paris Center, Ontario, and that's like maybe halfway from Toronto to Sudbury. And I'm telling you, it's so beautiful up there in Northern Ontario.
Heard.
Like, especially the drive, you're driving through the trees, but it could be a bad drive in the winter sometimes.
Well, we're going through the winter, so it's gonna be a bad drive, but it'll be beautiful when we get into that arena. So I'm not worried.
Yeah. That rink has so much history, the arena. They
It
even
is.
filmed the episode Shoresy there, the TV show.
There you go.
Yeah, and the Wolves have so much history, and even the Sudbury team is starting to get a bit of history now. I heard they're like one of the top teams in the league.
Well, they have a good fan base because of the hockey, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
And also Windsor. I believe Windsor is also in the league, and they even have like Detroit, just across the river. You got Detroit,
Exactly.
so they'll attract American fans also.
You're gonna have a lot of fun basketball coming up this year, and I'm
Uh,
looking.
yeah, especially Kitchener. I want to try and drag my friends from Toronto to one of those games when you guys play there.
There you have it.
Yeah,
Great.
they're like big Raptor fans. They actually told me they prefer basketball over hockey, and I was shocked hearing that from them.
Well,
Ever since the Raptors won the 2019.
basketball's a rising sport. People love it.
Exactly. Like I think the impact was the Raptors winning the NBA championship 2019. I think that was a big impact for Canada's basketball team.
Yep. It changed the landscape. It started off with Vince Carter, the Carter effect,
Exactly.
and then after the Carter effect, it was the Raptors winning.
But also, I think if Vancouver had a team, if Ron Francis played in Vancouver, I think that would also play to the effect also.
You mean Steve Francis?
Steve Francis, that's it. Sorry about that. If he's watching this, sorry.
He didn't want to play in Canada. We're not going to
I
go
know.
to. He didn't want to be a Canadian, which is fine.
It's okay.
We got Mike Bibby and a Big Country Reeves. So
Oh yeah, big country. I remember him.
Sharif Abdul-Rahim. So we got some good players. We got Paul Gasol too, but the team already ended up in Memphis at that time. But regardless of what it is, look, our history is our history. Now we got to make our future better. That's
exactly. All. Exactly. And also they learn from mistakes like financially and all that, like in Vancouver. But I think like if they get a team like them in Seattle, I think it could work out this time.
Seattle will have a team before Vancouver. I think the two teams in the NBA that the NBA is looking at is Seattle and Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Vegas
then
spot.
maybe 10 to 15 years after. I don't think it's going to be no time soon. But what we're trying to do here is create a fan base to where the NBA could take a look at Montreal and say, you know what, they're a viable city to an NBA team in the future.
And I think the best I think Place Bell and Laval would be a good place to have like a G League team.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like we love basketball in Montreal. People don't know us, but we love basketball.
Well, but that's the thing. We're trying to get people to know us, right? This is why we have the Tundra.
Exactly. We got Tundras, we got the Alliance. No hate to the Alliance. They do a really good job over there. Like
amazing job.
Yeah.
I don't think they get enough credit. They should get more credit because they run that like a machine, which is supposed to be. Like we try to do. So
yeah.
I mean, as long as they keep pushing it forward, we will do the same on our end, and eventually something's got to give.
Yeah, even though their tickets do cost a bit more, and every time we're looking on Ticketmaster for them, it's always sold out center court, always, even in the seats.
Those are corporate seats, though. That's
yeah,
why.
and that's amazing for the game.
Oh, absolutely, they do a great job.
Yeah, and also I heard my friend is Fred. I heard that he's gonna be announcing this year some games for the Tundras.
Fred.
He did the Laval Rocket last year. Fred IB, I think.
No, I'm not sure. I got to look into that.
Sure. But he told me he's gonna be announcing this year for the Toundra some games.
We'll see. I don't know yet. We'll see.
I know. Yeah, it's just like wherever I go, I tell people just come see the Toundras when they start. Come see some basketball. Like you want to be entertained, come see a game.
Exactly. But look, thank you very much, Matthew, for your time. Amazing.
Thank you.
Great job. Keep pushing the game forward. I love what you do. Your podcast for hockey, for basketball. You're an ambassador when it comes to sports, and
Thanks so
I
much.
appreciate it. And I'll come on anytime you need me.
For sure, and for sure, one day we could like do a podcast, like maybe like an interview, center court at like the arena.
At CBC, absolutely. I'm
That'd be
looking.
like amazing to promote.
You're the best. You're the best. Thank you, my man.
Thanks.
I
So everyone, I want to like thank you so much, Juan Mendez, like for your time. And I just want everyone to know Montreal Tundra is a really good basketball team starting in January, the new season 2024. Hope we get big crowds. Anyways, thank you so much. I just want to thank people for watching my podcast tonight. Next episode, we are posted next Monday or in 2 weeks. But I hope you're all having a great night and just keep smiling. Have a great week, and I'll see you all next week, hopefully. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Go ahead. Go Tundra.
Yeah, go Toundra.